It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds, and welcome to the dictionary hosted by me, Spencer. This is episode F101, and I have no memory if in the previous episode I made a big deal out of it being F100. I don't remember if I said that, but F100 just happened, which is, I think, quite a momentous occasion. And in about 100 episodes, we are going to have the 2000th episode of this podcast, give or take. I think there's been a few random ones that got added to the 2000 or didn't, whether they should or should not have, I'm not sure. I'm not going to be that much of a stickler about the little things like that. But the 2000 episodes are coming up in a little while, later this year. All right, so let's get into the words. The first word in this episode is firestorm. Firestorm, one word, noun from 1945. Well, I think, we got a few definitions here. Number one, a large, usually stationary fire characterized by very high temperatures in which the central column of rising heated air induces strong inward winds which supply oxygen to the fire. This sounds super duper scary. I think maybe like a week ago, when another day that we were getting all this news about the LA fires, Sharon, my wife, saw that there was a fire tornado, which I think is probably different but similar to this firestorm. It's literally a tornado that pulls in some fire, so then you got a fire tornado. Not cool. I think they had one of those in the new movie Twisters. But this storm, it's stationary fire characterized by very high temperatures. Well, yes, very high temperatures. I think that's pretty obvious when you're dealing with fire. The central column of rising heated air induces strong inward winds. So the heat in the middle, the strong column of heat, like pulls in strong winds into the fire, which supplies oxygen to the fire, which the fire uses to eat, to consume, and then it just makes it probably bigger and worse. It's a firestorm. Yeah. I don't know how this happens. The right conditions. Stay away from this firestorm. Now we have 2A, a sudden or violent outburst, and the example is a firestorm of public protest. Who was the first one to say, I'm going to use the word firestorm in a situation like this? A violent outburst, a sudden outburst. Oh my gosh, it's a firestorm. Public. When the public is protesting, that can definitely be a firestorm. Not literally, but it's intense. It's kind of like a firestorm. A lot of intense emotions when people are protesting. 2B is a raging controversy. The example is a political firestorm. We probably use this in these metaphorical ways more than the actual literal firestorm. Oh, there's a firestorm coming with these next words. Okay, well, because one of our words today is fire truck, I'm going to go wee-oo, wee-oo, the most irritating sound. What's interesting is that fire trucks all over the world have different sounds, different sirens, and, I'll try a few, but I don't know if I'll get any accurate. I don't know what your country's fire truck sounds like. The next word is firethorn. It's almost like somebody with a lisp is trying to say firestorm. Firethorn. This is a noun from circa 1900. The synonym is pyracantha, but especially a European semi-evergreen shrub. with orange-red berries. Ooh, that's where the fire comes in. Those berries look like they're little balls of fire. Goodness gracious, great tiny balls of fire. The species name, it looks like it's Pyracantha coccinea or coccinea. There's a double C there in the middle. And it's a fire thorn. Does it have thorns on it? It probably does. Does it hurt when you get stung by the thorns? Probably yes. Let's look up fire thorn and see. Well, yes, those berries, some of them are red, some of them are orange, some of them are yellow. And yeah, they go by the name Pyracantha. Pyra, definitely, is related to the fire. Okay, next. Wee. Now we have fire tower, 2 words, noun from 1827. This is a tower, as in a forest, from which a watch for fires is maintained. So they literally will build a tall tower in a forest, so when they go up there, probably above the trees, they can look down 360 degrees all around the fire tower to see if there's any fires that break out. And they probably have to stay. I wonder, is it like do they sleep up there? They probably do shifts. They must do, I don't know, 8 or 12-hour shifts. And then somebody else got to come get up the tower. All right, let's switch. Let's just hang up there. And they're just looking through their binoculars all day long. Fire tower. We watched that show Northern Exposure not too long ago, and there was an episode or two, I think, with a guy who was I think his job was in a fire tower. He was up in the tower looking out all over the woods and everything, and, I think his main job was looking out for fires, but I think he did other things too. Okay. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo. That's a fun fire truck siren. Next is fire trap, 1 word, noun from 1881. A place as a building apt to catch on fire or difficult to escape from in case of fire. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people in the world who are literally living in fire traps. If there's a fire, you might get trapped. These should not be existing. There should be enough money in place in cities and states and countries and everything to fix these places up, or to build new places for these people to live. This is ridiculous that people are living in fire traps. Oh, I don't know if you could hear, but I could hear. There's a battery low in a smoke alarm somewhere out there, and it's really irritating, that beep. Ooh, I don't like that beep. So yeah, I don't want anybody to be living in fire traps. What can you do to fix a fire trap? What can you do to fix a fire trap? Wee. Now we have fire truck, 2 words, noun from 1935. It is an automotive vehicle equipped with firefighting apparatus. If it's multiple apparatuses, it might be apparati. They have something in there. They probably have water in some of the trucks, but they also have, they got the hoses, of course, that are connected to the stuff. And then I think they got to have another hose to connect the truck to the fire hydrant, which we talked about. Did we? No, I think we're just going to see hydrant in the H's. And some of them have ladders, and of course they got to have medical apparatus and other sorts of things. They all got their gear and their helmets, but then they got to have axes, and I don't even know what else they got stored on those fire trucks. Dogs, Dalmatians. All right, next. I think here in my city, Northwestern University is here, which one of their colors is purple, and I think we have some purple fire trucks because of that, which is kind of fun. Woo! Fire wall, 2 words, noun from 1759. Number 1, a wall constructed to prevent the spread of fire. It's not a wall that's going to catch on fire. It's a wall to prevent the fires from going. Where, I wonder, are they using these walls? What are they making the walls out of to stop the fire? You can't make it out of wood unless it's treated in some special way. This is kind of like fire, was it fire line, fire break, fire brick? There's fire break, where you plow some land to stop the fire. If you don't got land but you got other stuff, you might need to build a wall, a fire wall. Number 2 is usually one word. It is a computer, hardware, or software that prevents unauthorized access to private data, as on a company's local area network or intranet, by outside computer uses, as of the internet. So examples of the company's local internet is the local area network, the LAN, LAN, or their intranet, and the firewall is put there in place, and it goes like this to stop outside bad things from coming in. And, these are good things to have. You need that firewall. It's not a literal fire. Hopefully, your computers are not catching on fire. The firewall on your computer would not do anything to stop a literal fire. This is a fire for viruses and such like that, or hacking. We don't want no hacking. Get your firewall in place. Pew, 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 pew. Next, we have fire water, one word. Fire water seems kind of odd. Those things don't really talk well to each other. Fire, water, water puts out fire. Fire's like, water, I don't like you. This is a noun from 1817. It is strong alcoholic liquor. And they call it fire water because, well, it's not water. It is a liquid, and water is a liquid, so they're like, close enough. But it's fire water because, it can burn your throat if it's very alcoholic, and that's it. You're not literally on fire. Although, the other side of things is that alcohol is flammable, so you can set it on fire. So it's water that can be set on fire, but it's not water. But also, be really careful if you're going to be setting alcohol on fire. It's not very smart. People have gotten very bad burns from that, and I don't think you should do it. Fire water. Next, what are some other fire truck siren sounds? Beep, 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 boop, beep, boop, beep. Now we have fireweed, one word, noun from 1784. It is any of several plants that grow especially in clearings or burned districts, as we got 2 examples of this plant that grows in burned districts. A weedy annual composite of eastern North America, having flower heads of whitish tubular disc flowers enveloped by green bracts. And the species name is Erectites, maybe? And the second word is Hierocephalia, something like that. And so this one is in North America. Anything interesting? Whitish tubular disc flowers enveloped by green bracts. And then we have another one, B. A tall perennial of the evening primrose family that has long spikes of pinkish purple flowers and is an important honey plant in some areas, called also willow herb. Now, I don't know if the second one is also called willow herb or this whole fireweed is called willow herb. Not sure. The species name for this one, the second one, is Epilobium angustifolium. Woohoo! I love these words. Let's see. It's tall. It's got pinkish purplish flowers. And an important honey plant. Does that mean that the bees like to go to this certain plant to then make their honey from it? Not sure. Maybe. Possibly. Or there's a whole other thing called a honey plant that I don't know about, which is entirely possible. So the interesting thing is that they grow in clearings or burned districts. So is it that these these fireweeds need like not a lot of other foliage around so they can grow? Is there something about the burned area that also makes it grow? I find this very interesting, and I don't know. It's a weed that grows after a fire, I guess? Hmm. Pew, 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 pew. Next is firewood, one word, noun from the 14th century. It is wood used for fuel. It doesn't say this, but of course, fuel for what? Fuel to be burned. That's what we are using this firewood for. A lot of people are using those sort of pre-packaged in a paper thing. I don't know if those are good or bad for the environment. I would like to think they're good, but some of them might not be so good. Maybe there are better ones than other ones. I don't know. Maybe they will burn slower. They're easier to light because you light the paper, and then the paper lights this fake log thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a fireplace. I don't have firewood. I don't have any of that stuff. But I love seeing people who have just like a huge wall of firewood ready to go near their house. You are set with firewood. Let's see, anything else about firewood? I don't know. I mean, it feels like there should be something about firewood. Well, the big logs are harder to burn, but they're going to burn longer and bigger. And then you need the smaller sticks to get the big logs to burn. And then you need the little skinny sticks, the kindling, set those on fire, which then burn the slightly bigger ones, the medium ones, and then those burn the big ones. And you got multiple sizes of firewood. Next is firework, one word. Noun from 1575. This is, number one, a device for producing a striking display by the combustion of explosive or flammable compositions. So this is a device, a firework device? Producing a striking display by the combustion of explosive. I mean, I guess it's like, maybe it's not firework. Well, okay. I had a little bit of a brain fart here. Yes, it's a firework. I was thinking fire, like, oh, I got to go do my firework. I got to go fight the fires. No, this is a thing that you shoot off in the air, and I just think of it as fireworks with an S at the end. So I was like, what is this device that's going to blow up things and make it look pretty? Yes, of course, it's the thing that we shoot in the sky. They're very pretty. They're very loud. The animals don't like them. You got to make sure that your animals, your pets, are locked up tight in your house because they will try to escape because they do not understand what's going on. The 4th of July in America is the biggest night into the next day for when lost animals are brought to shelters and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I think that they're a little unnecessary. People go kind of crazy with fireworks. So that one does not say plural. It's just one singular device that will make a beautiful thing, a striking display from combustion. But number 2 is plural, and it is a display of fireworks. All the fireworks make the fireworks. Number 3 is also plural. 3A, a display of temper or intense conflict. Ooh, I don't know if I've heard it used this way, really. I mean, yeah, I guess maybe if two people are having a fight, there's some fireworks. Ooh, we got to watch the fireworks when they have that verbal argument in front of us. Ooh, it's very entertaining to us, but not so fun for them. Number 3B, a spectacular display, as in the fireworks of autumn leaves. Oh, yes, autumn leaves will give you such beautiful, a spectacular display of the leaves changing from green to yellow to orange to red. Sometimes we get like pinks and purples, and ooh, it's very amazing. I feel like this past fall, at least in our area, in the Chicago area, 2024, felt like fall kind of lasted a while. I feel like we had some beautiful autumn leaves, fireworks of autumn leaves for a long, long time. Sometimes it's like 3 days and then it's gone. But yeah, some of them last for a while. Okay, anything else for fireworks? Nope. I don't know why we use the word work there. Those devices are working very hard to make some fire in the sky. Hoo-wee, 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 hoo-wee. Now we have firing, F-I-R-I-N-G, noun from the 14th century. Number 1, the act or process of one that fires. The person, the boss, the person who is a manager in control, who they're firing people, letting people go from their business. They are doing the firing. It's very sad. It's very frustrating. There was that movie, was it Up in the Air? George Clooney's character, he just went around the country just firing people. And he was like, I don't care. Number 2, the process of maturing ceramic products by the application of heat. I think I mentioned this in the previous episode, maybe. You got to take your ceramics, put them in the kiln, and you got to fire them. You got to put them through firing, so the heat will make it a very hard and robust, strong piece of ceramics. That's the fire truck I want. Here we have firing line. 2 words, noun from 1881. Number 1, a line from which fire is delivered against a target. And we have to say that the fire here is from guns. I don't know if this is still happening in the world, probably somewhere, but more back in the day, if, there was a war going on and they took a hostage from the enemy side, they would sometimes, or for other reasons, they would put them in front of the firing line. And it's a bunch of people aiming their guns at one person or multiple people, and then they shoot. And I think I mentioned this. I heard that they only gave maybe one person the actual bullet, but nobody knew who had the actual bullet. And so that's why they're like, it might not have been me who killed them. I don't know. So I can take that responsibility off me. But can you imagine having to shoot people? Because that's so ridiculous to me. Number 2, the forefront of an activity. And this is used especially in the phrase on the firing line. The forefront of an activity. So I guess if there's just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people doing stuff, the people who are at the front of that activity, I don't know. There's so many different types of activities. What activity could this be? I guess I'm on the firing line for this podcast because I'm in the forefront of whatever this activity is. I'm right there in the thick of it. Bleep, bloop, bloop, bleep, bleep, bloop, bloop. Next is firing pin. 2 words. Noun from 1874. The pin that strikes the cartridge primer or primer in the breech mechanism of a firearm. I don't know what any of these things are. I don't know the cartridge primer or primer, but I think it's literally like the back center part of the bullet, the cartridge, and then the pin that hits that thing to make the gunpowder inside combust and make the thing shoot out. I guess that's what it is, maybe. The pin that makes it fire. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Next is firing squad. 2 words. Noun from 1864. Number 1, a detachment detailed to fire volleys over the grave of one buried with military honors. A detachment, I think that means the group of people. I guess they're called a detachment. They have been detached from the rest of their military group. They were detailed to fire volleys. Wow, I just don't love how these are worded. They are sent to do this thing, detailed, I think that means they were sent over, to go to the grave of one buried with military honors. Somebody who was in the military, when they died, they send these people with guns, and they fire volleys over the grave. I guess that's what they're called. It's not like they're volleying a volleyball back and forth, or ping pong, or tennis. They're just shooting bullets in the air, usually blanks, probably. Hopefully. Yeah, they're the firing squad. The squad who's going to do the firing. My grandpa Jerry, who passed away a little over a year ago, he wanted a military funeral because he was in the military at the end of World War II. He didn't see no action. But I don't know if did they literally shoot them off? I think they must have. Yeah, I think they probably did. Number 2 for firing squad is a detachment detailed to carry out a sentence of death by shooting. Where might the shooting be happening? At the firing line, I would assume. Okay, we got to get the firing squad. All right, everybody get up, get ready, go get your guns and stuff. We got to have you shoot somebody to death because you're the firing squad, and it's very important work. Everybody, we need more people to shoot people to death. Beep boop beep boop beep boop beep. Next is firkin, Firkin, noun from the 14th century. Number 1, a small wooden vessel or cask. Just some small wooden thing that's going to hold stuff in it is a firkin. And I have never heard of this, and I can't wait to read the etymology. Number 2, any of various British units of capacity, usually equal to 1/4 of a barrel. So that gives you a pretty good size of what we're talking. Barrels are, they're good. There's different sizes of barrels, but back in the day, I guess they have a very specific size to a barrel, and 1/4 of that is a firkin, and that seems to have come from this small wooden vessel, whatever it was. So it was maybe, I don't know, this big-ish. If it's 1/4 of a barrel, I'm just guessing. Maybe bigger. But where does this name come from? It is from Middle Dutch vierdel, which means fourth. From vir, which means four. Akin to the Old English fiorer. Don't know how to say that. And there's more at the word for because it is a fourth of a barrel. I assume that's where it comes from. A firkin, a fourth of a barrel. Very easy to remember that way. Now we have our last word, first form of the word firm, Firm. Adjective from the 14th century, number 1A, securely or solidly fixed in place. My feet are not firm. I can move my feet all around. What is firm? I mean, my music stand is not quite firm. Anything else you can see? This microphone arm, it's attached firm. Woo, woo, woo. It's attached firm to the table, but the arm can move. Okay, so that was 1A. Number 1B, not weak or uncertain. The synonym is vigorous. Vigorous. Yeah, so if you are, I don't know, brave, ready to go do something, you are not weak, you are firm. You are firm in your constitution. Number 1C, having solid or compact structure that resists stress or pressure. Oh, what are we talking about here? Yeah, if something is solid, compact, if you try and put stress or pressure on it, it's not going to break or bend easily. Maybe like a shot put. Those things are very, very dense and heavy. And so, if you try and press on it or sit on it or something, it's so firm. You can't move it. You can't do anything. But if you put it in one of those hydraulic presses, then we might see some. Let's see what else we got. We got 2A1, not subject to change or revision. It's firm. You can't change this document anymore. We have firmed it up. We're done making changes. No more edits. It's firm. This piece of paper is so firm. 2A2, not subject to price weakness. The synonym is steady. Oh, so maybe we're talking about like stocks. Oh, their stock has been at the same price for 37 years, or it's been going up 1% every month for that whole time. Oh, it is firm. It is steady. That stock is so firm, you should buy stock in that stock. Number 2B, not easily moved or disturbed. The synonym is steadfast. Steadfast. You can see steadfast, steady. It's all very similar. 2C, the synonym is well-founded. Like the foundation of it is really well made, well built. The building is firm because it's not going anywhere. You can't pick it up. 3, indicating firmness or resolution, as in a firm mouth? What? Firmness or resolution? Like, is this not your literal mouth? My mouth is not firm. No, this is like maybe you're talking. What you say is very firm because you have resolution in what you say and think, and you cannot be swayed in any direction. A firm mouth. Okay, maybe. Firmly is an adverb. Firmness is a noun. My belly is not very firm. It's little squishy. I would like it to be firmer. Let's see. This is from the Latin firmus, which is akin to the Greek word thronos. That seems different. Thronos means chair, so like throne. Chair or throne is thronos. So maybe the idea to think about this is like the throne of the people in charge in politics, maybe, or royalty. Their throne was set. It was probably very large and heavy, so it was firm that way. But maybe they would like nail it into the floor so nobody could move it around because, the kings and queens, they don't want people messing with their throne, so they got to be firm. Okay. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. The second form of firm is an adverb from the 14th century. In a firm manner, because it's an adverb. Oh, when he was talking so firm because he was talking like this and his mouth was very firm. The synonyms are steadfastly and fixedly. There you go for that. Okay, it's now time to pick a word of the episode. Words have something. Don't know where I was going with that one. All right, let's pick one. We had firestorm, fire thorn, fire tower, fire trap, fire truck, firewall, fire water, fireweed, firewood, firework, firing, firing line, firing pin, firing squad, firkin, firm, and firm. Okay, let's see. I think I may pick... firewood's a good one. You need some firewood to make a fire. But I think I'm going to pick fire water because this is a coincidence. Are there coincidences? I have some fire water here. It almost looks like water, but this is cut water lime margarita. And it's very tasty and you could probably set it on fire, I guess. I'm not going to try. I would rather drink it than burn it. So I'm drinking fire water. It's a margarita and it's tasty. Fire water. Yeah. Okay, let's tell you about another movie that I watched. Should have brought up my list beforehand. I think we are here. Mention that. Ooh, A Complete Unknown. We saw this in the theater. This is the story of how Bob Dylan became so ridiculously well known in his first few years being on the scene, and it goes all the way up until he went electric, which I don't know the exact time frame. Was it like 5 years or something? But he was like folk guy, folky folk. And then he went electric, and a lot of those folk people sure didn't like that. They didn't like him going electric because folky needs to be acoustic, according to them. I am not extremely well versed in his music. I love music. I know the hits, but I have not studied him or listened to all his stuff. I think he's got about 148 albums. I don't know what the actual number is, but he's got a lot of music. And of course, Timothée Chalamet did a fantastic job playing him, and it was very cool to see him and that scene at that time. And of course, you gotta watch it. It's probably up for some Oscars. The nominations have not been announced yet in my timeline, but probably in your timeline they have. And in fact, if you're listening to this a little well into the future, all the awards have been figured out, and we have now forgotten them all, and we're moving on to the next year. All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for checking out this show. And until next time, I'm going to drink some firewater. And I am Spencer, dispensing information. Goodbye. I'm on fire.